Welcome to the March 23rd, 2026 meeting of the Florissant City Council. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Here.
Manganelli. Egan. Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the meeting minutes of March 9th, 2026? Hearing none, Councilman O'Donnell moves to approve the minutes, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The meeting minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is the presentation of police commendations. Do we have the handheld mic there?
Yeah. Mr. Mayor.
The first commendation is awarded to Officer Alexandria Rose. On November 23, 2025, officers responded to a burglary in progress where a suspect had forcibly entered a business and stolen merchandise. While canvassing the area, Officer Rose located a suspicious individual exiting a nearby wooded area under unusual circumstances. She detained the suspect, and subsequent search led to the recovery of all stolen items along with key evidence. Through her diligence and professionalism, a confession was obtained and charges were successfully filed. Her dedication, attentiveness, and proactive police work directly led to the apprehension of a criminal and the recovery of stolen property. For your outstanding performance and dedication to public safety, you are hereby officially commended.
It's not Eddie. So you think, right?
The next commendation is awarded to Officer Matthew Schaeffler and K-9 Tito. Throughout the year 2025, Officer Schaeffler and his K-9 partner, Tito, assisted both Florissant officers and neighboring agencies in 68 deployments, including narcotics investigations, building and area searches, and suspect apprehensions. Most notably, they assisted in major investigations resulting in the seizure of significant quantities of illegal narcotics, including methamphetamine, cocaine, and MDMA. Officer Schaeffler and his work with K-9 Tito has proven to be a tremendous asset to the department and a valuable resource to regional law enforcement partners. For your unwavering dedication to keeping the city of Florissant safe, you are hereby officially commended. The next commendation is awarded to Officer Cody Bright. On September 13, 2025, Officer Bright responded to a series of vehicle break-ins and quickly identified a suspect vehicle. Through his proactive efforts, he located the vehicle, conducted a traffic stop, and established probable cause to make an arrest. As a result, 2 suspects were taken into custody, and evidence including burglary tools and suspected narcotics was recovered. One subject who fled was safely apprehended after a brief foot pursuit. Further investigation linked both individuals to multiple serious crimes across the region. For your outstanding performance and dedication to public safety, you are hereby officially commended. Awarded to Detective Joseph Brockmeyer and Crime Analyst Maria Broker. From August through December 2025, there was a surge in vehicle thefts and related crimes. Crime Analyst Maria Broker, along with Detective Brockmeyer, initiated and led a complex investigation into a known street gang. Through their diligence and investigative work, multiple suspects were identified and linked to numerous offenses throughout Florissant and the surrounding area. Their efforts contributed to the execution of search warrants that resulted in the recovery of critical evidence, including firearms connected to violent crimes, as well as the arrest of multiple offenders. In total, their work led to the arrest of 6 violent individuals and the clearance of numerous cases. For your hard work and tireless dedication to keeping the city of Florissant safe, you are hereby officially commended. Awarded to Detective Daniel Kirchhoff and Detective Bradley Beeman. During the month of September 2025, Detective Kirchhoff and Detective Beeman conducted an extensive narcotics investigation, identifying a subject distributing fentanyl across multiple locations in Florissant and the surrounding region. Through their efforts, numerous search warrants were obtained and executed in coordination with regional partners. The investigation resulted in the seizure of a significant quantity of fentanyl, firearms, and U.S. currency, as well as the arrest of multiple individuals. Their professionalism, dedication, and investigative skill led to the disruption of dangerous criminal activity. For your outstanding performance and dedication to public safety, you are hereby officially commended.
Wanda and Osborne, you got 2. Yeah.
Awarded to Madge Dawada and Officer Daniel Osborne. On December 29, 2025, while canvassing for a robbery suspect, Officer Awada and Officer Osborne located an individual matching the description and made contact. When the suspect fled on foot, they pursued and successfully apprehended him after a brief chase. The suspect was taken into custody on an active felony warrant and later linked to the robbery and assault. Due to their diligence and determination, a dangerous individual was removed from the streets. For your outstanding performance and dedication to public safety, you are hereby officially commended. Certificate of Merit awarded to Michelle Author. Over the last several months, Michelle has seamlessly taken on additional responsibilities due to the extended absences of her teammates Peggy Fowler and Tanya Elliott. During this time, Michelle has maintained her regular duties as purchasing clerk, as well as taking on additional responsibilities, particularly related to assisting with sunshine requests, case report processing, and retention schedule review. Her loyalty to the Florissant Police Department is unwavering, and she has consistently exceeded the expectations of her role. Michelle's attitude, energy, and her strong commitment to the division is what sets her apart from her peers. Her willingness to go above and beyond has been instrumental in maintaining the smooth operation of our team during this challenging period.
Nobody wants to stand there. Fight with it, right? Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
That was, well.
I was like, it took me a minute. That caught me by surprise.
The next item on the agenda is hearing from citizens. This is a time to speak to the council on any issue, not necessarily on the agenda, for 3 minutes. This is not a question and answer period. If you would like to speak to a council member or the mayor, please stay until after the meeting is over. If you are here to speak on a public hearing, please wait and speak when the public hearing is announced. We have 2 cards this evening, 2 speakers. Mayor Tom Schneider. Okay. Mr. Bob Garrett.
Hello, I'm Bob Garrett of 550 St. Francis in Old Town and a former 18-year member of the City Council. Please vote no against the rush near to the last minute Prop F 1% sales tax increase sought by the Fire District. That proposal seeks the maximum tax that is allowed to be imposed under a new state law rather than any lesser amount tailored to address any current fire or emergency services. The new tax by itself will increase sales taxes within Florissant by approximately 10%. The district indicates that if the new tax is approved, the district will be required by state law to reduce property taxes. That is true to a point, but is misleading. Year to year, overall revenue from property tax will need to be reduced, but not as a total offset, only at 50% of sales tax collection realized in the previous year, with a resulting small reduction in property tax in the following year. I wonder how that will all mesh with the senior citizen tax freeze, as a new tax will that act in some way to unfreeze it? The district has begun suggesting as a justification for the large tax increase a new MIH medical service that the district will gear up to provide, including because nursing homes are failing to provide adequate service. Now the district has begun offering small snippets regarding the newly proposed MIH service, indicating that a new division will be established within the district and that additional employees will be added. Most details and budgeting remain unknown to voters. Chief Hovelman has indicated that explaining things isn't really possible now because it's too complicated. Adequate detailed info is lacking to voters to this point in time. This tax increase proposal is simply too rushed for this election. If, and it's a big if, this is truly required and the MH services are truly good and should be funded by a tax increase, those services will still be a good idea at a later election, say in August or November or even later, after actually adequate detailed info is supplied to voters rather than just a lot of hand-waving by the district. MIH is touted as non-emergency medical services. Isn't it really better for the district to concentrate on its true emergency services rather than becoming involved in providing non-emergency medical services? In this election, the vote should be no on Prop F. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Garrett. Mayor Tom Schneider.
Mayor Lowry, President Harris, members of the City Council. I was 40 years on that side of the dais. Feels different to being on this side. And keep up the good work, keeping Florissant Florissant. That's what the citizens want. You probably saw all the research that my former colleague Bob Garrett sent to you. You know, we got that every meeting when we were on the council together. He did our homework for us. I can appreciate Bob's reluctance to oppose Prop F with his family history supporting the fire district. His great-grandfather, Mayor Sidney Garrett, was the lead guy in founding the fire district in 1917, and his grandfather was a firefighter. And I hesitate because of my long support for the district. In 1981, Globe Democrat reporter Carol Raig credited me with leading the passage of the LSV, Life Support Vehicle Tax, for ambulance service that's still provided by the district. But I'm not ready to support Prop F and its 10% increase in our Florissant sales tax that would happen if Florissant F passed and raised our sales tax by a substantial amount of 1%. You know, I don't remember ever being asked for a 1% sales tax increase by anybody. And what's the hurry? Why decide this so soon after the state legislature enabled it despite strong objections from our municipal league? Why at a low turnout April 7th election? I suggest a March Madness type timeout. If this is a good idea, it will still be a good idea next year after we've had much more time to study it, and when urban economic experts from UMSL and St. Louis University and Washington University, they've had time to analyze this and the impact on our region. A 10% increase in sales tax is no small matter and should not be done in a hurry. Instead, it should only be considered after numerous public education meetings and discussion by all the stakeholders, residents and business owners. The good people of Florissant recently were community-minded enough to allow Florissant to collect a use tax on internet sales, so we'll be paying the extra 1% on internet purchases too. I don't know if the voters would have signed up for that knowing there was going to be a 10% increase coming. Also keep in mind that any possible real estate tax reduction from Prop F would only be for a fraction of the sales tax collected. And since we have a large number of absentee landlords, a lot of that portion of that, any refunds would go to real estate investors not in our city. So thanks for the 3 minutes, and thanks for your time, and keep up the good work. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. Yeah. The next item on the agenda is communications. City Clerk, please read the communications.
Letter received from Robert Garrett expressing his opposition to Proposition F.
The next item on the agenda is public hearings. Public hearing number 260314.
In accordance with 405-125 of the Florissant zoning code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers, 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, March 23, 2026 at 7 p.m. on the following proposition. A request from Moset's LLC for special use to allow for a restaurant in a B3 extensive business district located at 1740 Thunderbird. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Okay, thank you. Will the petitioner please come forward? Good evening. Will you state your name and city for the record?
Good evening, Icy Logan.
And tell us about your project.
Sure. My name is Icy, and I am one of the operating managers with Moset's Restaurant, hopefully going to be located at 1740 Thunderbird Avenue. I'm going to just go over this with you. The plan for this restaurant, it is a family-owned and operated restaurant rooted in faith, hospitality, and over 20 years of combined restaurant service experience. Just a business with Moset's. We hoping to operate a full-service dine-in restaurant offering brunch, lunch, dinner, and takeout services. The Florissant location is an expansion of an already successful established STL business and operated. Moset's is built on faith, family, and food. The owner, Gwenda Jackson, which is my mother, who just retired from Christian Northeast Hospital, decided to keep the restaurant going. Our expectation, brand identity, and dining experience. We're a warm, welcoming, family-friendly environment, a gathering space that feels like an extension of home, comfort, food elevated with bold flavors, friendly, attentive services, and a place where guests return week after week, day after day. Moset's has already demonstrated strong brunch revenue performance, consistent customer service loyalty, repeated business driven by word of mouth, effective food and labor cost management, and a growing social media presence. The marketing opportunity in Florissant. Florissant has a strong family presence, active community engagement, and a demand for quality dining options. Moset's will fill demand for full-service family dining, provide diverse menu options, offer both comfort food and elevated flavors, and create a welcoming dining destination. Our full-service operation plan. We hope to operate full dine-in restaurant, takeout service, online ordering system, brunch, lunch, dinner service. Staffing includes the general manager, kitchen manager, line cooks, servers, hosts, and support staff. Just a little about our menu. Our appetizers will be our chicken, egg rolls, and Philly egg rolls, fried pickles, fries, loaded nachos, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, 4 wings, salad, or salmon bites. The brunch menu will be Moset's platter, where you can put 3 items from the appetizer and make it a platter. Chicken French toast, chicken and waffles, shrimp and grits, chicken and grits, fried salmon or pan-seared salmon with grits, catfish and grits. The all-day, here's a menu with the shrimp pasta, Cajun chicken Alfredo, fried salmon, catfish pasta, the shrimp pasta, chicken and fries, which we're really known for, different flavors of chicken, turkey burger, beef burger, tripe bites, jack fish and fries, catfish, and pork chop sandwiches. Just a few of the pictures of what we prepare and how we cook. Here's the seared salmon with the asparagus, with the lemon on the side. That was a really taste that everybody enjoyed. Our loaded salad, our turkey burger with fries, Here's our famous French toast that we like to add a little flavor to it with the strawberries and blueberries and powder on top. Verified customer reviews from when there was a Mosai's operated through our family previously, but we closed their location downtown because of the cost. But here were the reviews. Everything about this place was awesome. The fried salmon pasta was delicious. I will definitely be coming here again. We are from out of town, and this place was highly recommended. Hospitality and quality of food exceeded our expectation. Mosai's stand out because of family ownership and generational recipes. Over 20 years of combined restaurant experience, a strong St. Louis regional brand presence, faith-centered hospitality culture, a loyal and growing customer base, a menu that blends tradition with innovation. In conclusion, Mosai's represent a thoughtful and expansion of a proven family-owned restaurant branded with deep roots in the St. Louis region, with strong leadership under Gwender Jackson, generational recipes, faith-based values, over 20 years of restaurant experience. Mosai's is positioned to become a strong in addition to the Florissant market. The ownership believes that the City of Florissant commitment to family business growth and community development aligns seamlessly with the mission and heart of Mosai's. Mosai's is ready to bring jobs, revenue, and meals for soul to Florissant.
Thank you, Ms. Logan. I think this is in Ward 9, so we're going to go over to Councilman Cyan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Ms. Logan, for coming tonight and for being willing to invest in our city. I have several questions for you.
Yes, sir.
You said you touched on this a little bit ago, but where was the original restaurant located previously?
The original restaurant was located downtown off of Cass. And with this restaurant, quite a few families came together, and we leased out a building, and the cost was just a bit much. And so one of the families went to Illinois, O'Fallon, Illinois, Mosaic Social.
And you said it was open for about 20 years?
No, that facility wasn't open for about 20 years, but the 20 years is our families being in the restaurant business.
Oh, I see.
Where we catering and being in Texas, doing a lot of cooking. We are a cooking family.
And when did that last restaurant close?
The last restaurant closed June of 2025.
Okay, so just last year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and can you, I know some of this stuff was in the planning and zoning minutes, but can you reiterate like some of these things, like what are the hours of operation gonna be?
Yes. Monday through Thursday, hours of operation will be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it will be 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. And no, I'm sorry, Mondays we're closed. That will be our day where we're gonna do really, really thorough cleaning. We will clean after every night, correct.
Okay, and on those days, how long is the kitchen open?
The kitchen will be open, we're gonna close the kitchen down about 7:30, where we'll be taking the last order. And so our staff will be trying to go home at least by 8:30, 8:45 after the cleaning of the restaurant.
Okay, and then on the Friday through Sunday hours?
Friday through Sunday hours, we're hoping to close the kitchen at 10:30 will be the last
10:30.
order.
So
And we're
about-
hoping for staff to get home by 11:30, before midnight.
Okay. And then I have a question about the parking lot. It's rather small, unfortunately.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
think there's a lot that can be done with that, but do you foresee any issues with parking in that area or using that parking lot?
No, I don't foresee, after doing some research and studying, what we're deciding to do, kind of to make the crowd, because we for sure know it's going to be a large crowd when people come, but we're going to be training our staff to get the people in, get the food served, give the great customer service, and let's kind of try to move them out to move more people in so we can make room and not go over the capacity of the facility.
Okay, are you planning to charge for parking by any chance?
No, we are not planning to charge. Parking is free.
Okay. Do you plan to have any live entertainment?
No, we do not plan to have any live entertainment.
Or any charging for entry?
No, we will not be charging
cover
for
charges?
entry.
Okay. And then the last thing I have, well, actually, one more thing. Are you going to play, I mean, not live entertainment, but do you have like audio playing over the loudspeakers, like
No.
any kind of music playing during
No.
the opening hours or anything like that?
No, we don't plan to do that.
Okay. And then the last thing I had here is signage. You have 2 signs above the windows. What are your plans for those 2 signs?
So for those signs, we're planning to get those 2 signs where it will show Moset's Restaurant, and we're planning to have the signs to make sure it is in compliance with Florissant Building and Zoning from the information we were sent.
So they'll both have the name of the restaurant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Councilman Egan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening.
Good
Mr.
evening. How are
Siam
you?
asked all my questions, and so I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Councilman Childrath.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hi, Ms. Logan. How are you?
Hi, I'm great.
Good. You mentioned Ms. Jackson worked at BJC. She's retired, or she's
Yes.
about to. Was she in food service, or did she work?
So she actually was one of the top, I would say, managers at the Moset's Restaurant downtown. So when she would be off work, she would retire from phlebotomy, and she would get off at 3 o'clock, go to the restaurant downtown, and when she would not be in the building, the people would say, "Where's Miss Gwen?" So she is experienced, and she's one of our greatest cooks.
Okay. All right. That's all I have. Mr. Siam asked most of my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Pagano.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So, in that building, I know there's 2 bars.
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
those both going to stay?
Yes, ma'am.
And the smoking, we know there is
No
no
smoking.
Nothing.
Nothing. No, no smoking. We're not even going to file for it. We don't want to do secondhand smoke anyway.
Okay, all right, I just wanted to
Yes.
clarify that, so,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
No problem.
Okay, I don't see any more questions from the council. Thank you for being here tonight. and
Thank you all
you
for
may be
having me.
seated.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to ask for, are there any, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? You can sit down.
Okay.
Is there anyone else who would like to comment on this public hearing? Okay. Seeing none, Councilman Siam moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Childrath. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? This public hearing is closed. Public hearing number 2603015.
In accordance with 405125 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, March 23, 2026 at 7 o'clock p.m. on the following proposition. A request from Davion Pham, Saigon Baguette for special use to allow for a quick service restaurant with catering services in a B3 extensive business district located at 1775 North Highway 67. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Is the petitioner present this evening? Will you please come forward? Thank you. Okay, please state your name.
Good evening, Councilman. My name is Davion Pham. I'm here requesting approval for a special use permit for Saigon Baguette at 1775 North Highway 67. This concept is designed to be a low-impact operation with limited seating, focusing primarily on takeout and catering. There will be no late-night activity, no loud environments, and no disruptions to the surrounding area. The project itself is mostly an interior build-out, and we're working closely with the architect and engineer to make sure that we are in full compliance with city codes and permitting requirements and safety standards. We believe this business is a strong fit for the existing commercial zoning space and aligns well with the surrounding area. In addition to fitting the district, it will bring value to the community by introducing new food options, creating local jobs, and just overall contributing to diversity to the culture of the area. Our goal is to operate a clean, professional, and well-managed establishment that reflects positively on the city of Florissant. We appreciate your time and consideration and respectfully ask for your approval.
Thank you. Councilman Siam.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for coming tonight and for being willing to invest in our city. I actually only have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Can you tell me what your hours of operation are going to be?
Yeah, I believe last time we spoke, it was 12 to 8 p.m. We may adjust
Okay.
that to close slightly earlier, maybe 7 p.m., but still around that area.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yes.
sorry, I didn't hear that, but I mean,
Oh,
last time we spoke or anything.
Apologies.
But is it every day or
Yes, open every day,
Sunday through Saturday?
Sunday through Saturday.
Okay. And you are going to do some carry-out business as well?
Most of the business itself will be mainly takeout and just catering services. As I'm sure you guys have all seen, the parking lot is pretty limited, up to, I believe, 6 spaces or definitely below that. So most of our business is going to be takeout or catering service only.
Okay. What kind of events do you cater to? Is it just basically anybody who calls you, I guess? Or
Yeah,
do you
so-
do like weddings or anything specific? I
Absolutely.
guess what I'm asking.
Most of the catering would actually be to B2B, so it's going to be a lot of businesses and other areas. And so our main goal is to bring the Vietnamese French baguette to St. Louis and Florissant in general and kind of boost that cultural diversity within the whole metro area and hopefully, cater to the Vietnamese community itself and hopefully see other businesses opening up with this concept as well. And so trying to boost other businesses as well.
Okay, and do you take the food to those places or do they come and pick it up?
Absolutely. We plan on delivering, or you could do a pickup if that's something that they would prefer.
Okay, it's kind of up to them. Okay. Did you have any other previous locations for this business or?
This would be a new business for me. I am a business owner in St. Peters. I have a boba store up in St. Peters, Missouri. So we're established and, we understand how the health department's gonna wanna work and how the food industry kind of works itself. But this would be the first concept for this.
Okay, appreciate your answers. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Councilwoman Pagano.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Quick question, because I'm reading this, that on this it says that you will be closed on Sunday. Did you just say you'd be open Monday through?
I believe we planned for opening on Sunday. We may have mistakenly put that we closed on Sundays,
Okay.
but
So-
we intend on opening all days.
So we would have to change that, correct? Okay, so I just want to make sure
No,
I'm
yeah,
just
apologies.
seeing in here that it's closed, and you said it was open.
I appreciate the
So,
clarification.
so should I amend that now? Or should I amend that
No, when the bill comes to the floor.
on next, first reading?
Yes,
I'm
correct.
sorry. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Councilman Egan.
Thank you. Any plans for any liquor license request?
No, sir.
Thank you. That's all I have. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Councilman Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, Mr. Pham, I see on the plans that you have no kind of indoor dining at all, correct?
Yes, sir.
And there's none of that going to be in the future?
We intend on maybe having like a seat for people waiting or whatnot, but we don't intend for indoor dining, no.
Okay, yeah, because the way the plan's set up now, you only have one restroom in there, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, so basically, like you said earlier, all of your sales would be carry out, correct?
Yes, sir.
Basically, all your sales are, okay. All right, yeah. That's all I have, thank you.
Mr. Pham, will you be serving boba at this location as well, please?
Not that we intend to, but if that's a future venture that we see fit, we could absolutely bring that into the city of Florissant, yes.
Okay, is there any relation to a Spot House?
We do not have any relationship with them, but they're phenomenal, aren't they?
You
Just
know them.
Absolutely great Vietnamese food.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I see. If there's not any more, okay, thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Councilman.
We'll continue to consider this, so come on back at the next meeting.
Sure thing.
Okay.
I appreciate
And
that.
you can be seated. Thank you. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Seeing none, Councilman Siam moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilwoman Parson. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? This public hearing is closed. Public hearing number 2603016.
In accordance with 405-180 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, March 23, 2026 at 7:00 p.m. on the following proposition. A request from Land Strategy LLC, the Grove at Coke Park, to rezone a parcel of land from NU non-urban district to a planned development residential PDR, commonly known as 2475 to 2435 Charbonneir Road, creating a minor subdivision. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Okay, welcome. Please state your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Jeremy Roth with McBride Homes.
Okay, what are we doing here, Jeremy?
All righty. Well, we are very excited to be back here. Thank you for having us, Mayor, members of the council. This will be our third project in the city of Florissant over the last handful of years. And going back 4 or 5 years ago when we started having conversations with the city, and they said, hey, you know, you guys have been built in the city before, you built in North County, would you consider coming back to the city and doing a new subdivision? And we said, when was the last time there was a new subdivision in Florissant? I think the answer was about 25 years ago, but thank goodness we made the decision to do that. Like I said, this is our third project. Our first one is continuing. It's a tremendous success. We found that there is a pent-up demand for new housing in the city. Our second development's underway now, development-wise. We already have 8 sales there, and we don't even have streets poured. So we know that that one's going to be a great success too. And we're very excited to present this one tonight that will offer a slightly different housing concept that we think there is a need for the city. So very excited. So with that, I'll dive right in. You're familiar with who we are. I would just make a couple notes. One thing that we are very proud of is this year we are celebrating our 80th anniversary. So we've been building houses in the St. Louis region for 80 years. So very excited about that and proud about that. So this is the site. It's 6 acres on Charbonneir Road, directly across from Coke Park and nearly directly across from that first development I mentioned, which is the Manors at Coke Park, which has been very successful for us. So it's currently zoned NU. It's surrounded by, for the most part, residential uses. Like I mentioned, Coke Park is directly across Charbonneir. This is an excerpt from the city's zoning map. You can see those residential uses surrounding it for the most part. You can see some of the uses that are currently allowed in NU, but this would, zoning it to PRD would bring, or PDR would bring another housing option to the area, which I'll get into in just a second. You know, and that would be compatible with a lot of the surrounding uses with the single-family residential. So the objectives of that PDR zoning are to take a piece of property that might be challenging to develop, whether it's size, shape, topography, and utilizing of the flexibility in the zoning code to bring a housing type that is needed but also blends kind of seamlessly with some of the surrounding uses. And I think this is a great example and utilization of that zoning. This property has been for sale for quite some time. And it's been marketed for commercial uses. It's been marketed for maybe more traditional vertical multifamily, whether it be apartments or something like that. Obviously, those types of deals and transactions didn't come to fruition. And we wouldn't probably normally look at a piece of property that's 6 acres. It's not large enough to maybe do a traditional detached single-family subdivision. You know, it's got to make financial sense to sell housing. But with the PDR zoning, it allows us to, again, utilize that flexibility in the zoning code, do an attached product, bring in a use with some maintenance provided for the buyers that would be welcome and not typical within the city, and allows us to create a successful community. So here's the site plan. Again, on 6 acres, we have 55 single-family attached homes. So they are single-family because a buyer will come in and they will buy a house from us. They will own the entire lot. But these will be attached in groups of, there's 1 2-unit building, there's a couple 3-unit buildings, and then the rest are 4-unit buildings. So they are built attached, but they are single-family, for sale housing. You can see the buffer and the common ground around the perimeter of the site. You can see we have stormwater detention in kind of the southern, southeast portion of the site. And then I want to point out this 20-foot kind of tan strip along what would be the northwestern side of the site. So in working with the city, working with city staff, we are setting that aside for the new Sunset Greenway that's currently being planned. So that's the Greenway in partnership with the city and Great Rivers Greenway to connect Sunset Park, coming up the bluff, and then connect a trail over to Coke Park. So we've set aside 20 feet there, and that's what that would be for. It's not shown on this plan, but we will be installing a sidewalk along Charbonnier. And then you can see all the landscaping that is involved in the plan as well. So I kind of went through the project features, but just to point out a couple items. So over 23% of the site is common ground, green space. That'll be maintained by a homeowners association. There is a maintenance component I mentioned to these homes. So if you buy a home in here, you'll have full lawn maintenance. And the exteriors of the homes will be maintained. So, you know, we're getting more storms, hailstorm comes through, and the subdivision or some buildings in the subdivision need new roofs. That would be performed and maintained by the homeowners association. And then I mentioned the landscaping. There'll be 154 new trees and shrubs that will be planted, so a healthy landscaping plan. And then I mentioned that trail on the western side of the site. So I keep mentioning housing options, but I think that's the key. So there's some quotes in the city's comprehensive plan about what is the city looking for in new housing, and I think we really hit all these. So we want to bring a more modern housing, more modern floor plans, where it's walk-in closets, you know, a little bit more open floor plan, bigger kitchens, big islands. So we accomplished that. And then we also accomplished that maintenance provided component that could be potentially missing within the city now. So somebody that wants to age in place, somebody that maybe wants to downsize, tired of taking care of their lawn, this would be an option for them. So the single-family homes themselves, so we call this our Heritage Series. So there's 2 different floor plans. Both of those have a 2-bedroom option and a 3-bedroom option. I mentioned that they're attached in 2s, 3s, and floors. I mentioned the kind of the open floor plans, the modern features. They'll have fully sided yards, landscape packages with the house itself, and then that exterior maintenance component provided by the homeowners association. There is, it should say full yard lawn care and landscape maintenance, so the front and backyard would be maintained. And here's our elevations. So we've built very similar communities to this in the city of St. Peters. We've done 3 successful communities recently in the city of St. Peters. We're developing one right now in the city of Lake St. Louis. There's another one coming in the city of Lake St. Louis. We built these in St. Louis County previously, so a lot of what this floor plan has been around for us. It's kind of tried and true, and excited to bring it to the city of Florissant. Here's just some pictures of interiors. Again, kind of that open feel. I love this picture here with that large island. Modern features like the walk-in closets, white cabinets, stainless appliances. And then each one of our buyers, we like to brag about this, comes to our design studio in Chesterfield Valley, so they'll select their lot, their structural elevations in the community, and then they'll go to our design studio and pick out all their finishes, their flooring, their cabinets, countertops. We believe in the power of choice, so a buyer can come, they can buy a really nice home with included features, but then they have the option to come to our design studio and they can load it up with and invest as much money as they want in our design studio with upgrades and added features. So just kind of in closing, kind of hit on all these, but the PDR allows us that flexibility to provide and develop a community like this that brings new housing options to the city. Staff did recommend approval a couple weeks ago. We came before the Planning Commission. They voted for a favorable recommendation onto the council, and we're very excited, like I said, and here tonight to answer any questions and ask for your approval and move on to the next step. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeremy. We have some questions here. Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome again. This is in my ward, and when I first heard about the project, without seeing any details, I was hoping for villas, but okay.
In a way, I mean, whether you call them a townhome or a villa, they are 2 stories, but we, in our other communities, we do find villa buyers, again, residents that are looking to maybe age in place a little bit that are still active, but maybe tired of cutting the grass, maybe more of that carefree lifestyle. So maybe not a true villa in the villa sense, but some of the same components and features.
Okay, appreciate that. Did you get a traffic study done on what the impact would be to Charbonnier?
So we did, we were required to do a traffic study when we did the Coke Park. That was a much larger development, created more traffic. We did proactively reach out to that same traffic engineer, and they looked at this project. They provided a short report. They looked at the trips, the turning movements, and they said no issues. We can provide that to the city and put it on file with the city, but no issues regarding traffic.
Okay, all right, appreciate that. And you have, so you have there's other developments like this that you've built?
There are, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the most recent, probably the one that's most active is in the city of St. Peters on Taylor Road right now. That's got some display homes that can be walked through. Active selling, active building. There was 2 other ones recently in the last 4 years that we finished within the city of St. Peters. So again, more of that. St. Peter's built out for the most part. There's not, large farms anymore, large tracts, so more infill and tremendously successful where we found that, people wanted a new house. And it's interesting, not only, I would say a wide breadth of buyers, so all demographics, so not only people that maybe are looking more for that maintenance-free lifestyle, but also young couples, young professionals, singles, that grew up in St. Peter's and, quite frankly, can't afford anything in St. Peter's, and this, gave them an option to stay in St. Peter's. So, we're not going to limit our buyers. It's, there'll be a wide breadth of buyers. So, people that want to stay in the community, this gives them another option. So.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and I get from a lot of my customers when you're buying new houses or building houses, it's amazing how the size of the yard really doesn't come into play.
It really, trends have changed over the last 20 years or so. I would say when I started my career with McBride, everybody wanted that walkout and that large yard, and I think lifestyles have just changed. you know, families are busier, kids have select baseball and soccer every night, and there's great amenities within the communities too. And I think that's more prevalent today than it was 20 years ago. And you guys, I mean, this is the perfect example. You have that awesome amenity right across the street. People would rather have a smaller yard, less to take care of, and they'll walk across the street and use the municipal amenities.
Last question. Is the homeowner, are they buying the entire structure, or is some of it, you know, like in a villa, they're buying the interior of the unit? Is that the case here, or are they buying the whole thing?
So they would be buying the whole structure and the whole lot. So they will own their whole lot. So on this plan here, the brown shape is the unit, the darker green is the lot. They will be buying their whole lot and their whole unit. They're separated by a common party wall. But that exterior of that structure is maintained by the HOA, but owned in fee by that buyer.
Okay, all right. That's all I have.
Thank you
very much.
Councilman Egan.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Good evening, Mr. Roth.
Good evening.
And welcome.
Thank you.
This is exciting stuff to us. A lot happening on the west side of the city. A couple questions. Number one, what's the price point on these residences?
So pretty early, but we anticipate them starting in the mid-200s.
Very good. Second, does each unit like have its own little backyard and patio area? I think you kind of answered that, but I want to be clear on that.
Yes, so each unit will have I think most of these will be patios. There could be a couple decks, but mostly patios. But that would be their backyard area to use. That's theirs, they own it.
Very good. And last, can you explain to me the difference between a villa, a condo, a townhouse, and they're all this, what's the difference? There's got to be a difference.
So there's definitely a difference between condos and villas and townhomes. So kind of two separate buckets there. So in the condo scenario, you truly only own the space inside your unit. You don't own the exterior. You don't own any yard area. You truly just own that interior space. A villa and a townhome, like I said, you own the whole lot, and I think it's kind of semantics whether you call it a villa or a townhome. For us, you know, usually that's got some sort of maintenance component to it. I guess a lot of people call villas when they're one-story, townhomes when they're two-story, but I don't know that there's really any hard and fast definition.
All right, thank you. I have nothing else, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome.
Thank you.
Like Mr. Eden said, it's nice to have something on the west side of the city being built. Do you have basements in these?
Yes, these will all have full basements, yes.
So would they each be sharing them, each villa sharing, or they each have their own little separate?
Each unit would have their own basement. Okay. Yep. Just like a typical house.
I know McBride's signatory to St. Louis Building Trades. Would all the trades or all your subcontractors, will they all be signatory to the St. Louis Building Trades also?
So yeah, we are the we still build union. We're the largest union builder in the country. So still, all these subcontractors would be union tradesmen. Yep.
Thank you. That's all I have.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Again.
Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Mr. Roth.
Good evening.
I was just curious, would the 55 units be done, pending approval, of course, be done in phases?
Probably not. It's kind of right on the borderline of doing two phases. I would say maybe a little bit to be determined, but sitting here today, I'd probably say one phase. We might develop it all in one phase and then maybe only open half for sales. It really does, with this type of development, you kind of do want to build them in a row and not jump from one side to the other. So don't have a final answer for you yet, but I'd probably say one phase.
Yeah. And then how about a timeline for starting once you have approval to start, and then perhaps to be at a point for completion or at least display?
Sure. So we'd look to break ground on the development late this year. develop through the end of this year and early 2027. Hopefully be selling in early 2027 and going vertical with construction spring of 27.
Gotcha. Well, I wish you the best with it, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Parson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish you well. All of my questions have already been answered.
Thank you.
Councilman Siam. Thank you, Mr. President. I just have one question. How wide is the street going to be?
The street will be 26 foot wide.
Okay, are people going to basically just park on the street? There's no garages or driveways or anything like that, it looks like.
Yeah, no, there's, so there's each unit has a 2-car garage.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm
a
sorry, I missed
driveway.
that. Okay.
And a driveway that you could park another 2 cars in. So you
Okay.
could park 4 cars in front of your, or in your garage and in front of your unit.
Okay.
In addition to that, there would be parking on the street on one side. We do have some, it's not really labeled, but that area there is some off-street guest parking.
Okay.
We're going to try to add, we're going to massage this area a little bit and add some additional guest parking there.
Okay.
And then there'd be a lot of street parking here adjacent to the stormwater basin. So we feel like that's more than adequate for guest parking as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Sounds good. Thank you. That's
Thank
all
you.
I have. Okay, let's see. Is there fencing allowed?
So we've gone back and forth on this, and we made the final decision that we are not going to allow fencing. I think there is a provision that you can do a small privacy fence just for visual purposes that's not enclosed, but we would not allow fencing of the rear yard. That
Okay.
way it makes it easy for the landscape company to maintain all those rear yards.
I see. What about street lights?
There would be streetlights, yes.
Yes.
Ameren provided streetlights.
Okay, and would the HOA pay for that, or?
I believe those would be, I would have to double check on this. I think the HOA would pay Ameren for those.
Okay. You said there's 20 foot for the, allocated for the trail. How wide are you thinking on that trail with the 20 feet? Because I think with Greenway Trails, I don't know what the number is. I thought they said 30 feet for a 10-foot wide trail, which is what they're going for, but maybe 20 feet. I don't know if you had a conversation with them. Or
Yeah,
anything about
so we've been working with city staff. Our engineers are working with GRG's engineers. I think if they had their choice, they'd take 30 feet.
Yeah.
They could make this work in 20 feet. The grades, they're looking at that now to make sure it's all ADA compliant. There could be some small retaining walls to make it work, but we've committed that our engineers will work with their engineers and we'll make sure it works.
that. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
And then, is there a path to the street from the trail, or do we have to go down to the sidewalk there?
Yeah, so this doesn't really show it, but there would be a sidewalk on one side of the street.
Okay.
And then we will, it doesn't show this either, but we will be installing a sidewalk along Charbonneir Road.
Okay, so residents would need to go to the sidewalk probably, unless they had access from their backyard.
Correct.
I mean, they would if there's no.
Yeah, they would
fence,
have to go to the,
obviously,
like these
side.
interior units would go out to the sidewalk, could walk down that interior street, and then sidewalk to the trail or,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, I was glad that Councilman Manganelli mentioned a traffic study. There was a meeting before this one, or a committee meeting, and some of the engineers, or project managers were in the room over at JFK, and they were talking about the trail, where it would cross there, and making sure that's safe and all that. So I just wanted to add that there's a conversation going on about safe crossing there, because I've
Yes.
heard that from a number of residents too.
Yep.
Is that going to be safe? I think that was part of the feedback they got when they put out their surveys and things like that. So,
Gotcha.
okay, I think that's my question. Councilman Childrath.
Thank you, Mr. President. Could you talk about snow removal? Will the homeowners association contract that out to?
Yeah, so we've gone both ways. Right now, we don't have plans for snow removal within this community, but something that could potentially be added. to be honest, it's just not that big of a necessity anymore. It's once or twice a year at most, so, yeah, not included right now, but something we could consider.
So,
Now, the street will be public, so the street itself will be public, but I'm assuming you're talking about driveways
well,
and
no, I was
side-
talking about the street.
Oh, yeah, so the street will be dedicated to the city of Florissant. We're building that to public standards, and that'll be dedicated to the city.
Okay, I just
Yep.
wanted to be sure. Thank you.
I want to ask a follow-up question about that. I think Councilman Siam asked how wide is the street. Did you give a foot?
26 foot wide.
26 foot?
Yes.
Okay. Is that like a standard?
That's standard, and we've met with the fire district. Fire district has approved that street width. They're comfortable with access, turning movements.
Yeah. My only concern would be the snow plows.
Yep.
But however, you are having parking on one side of the street.
Parking on one side only, yep.
So we think that our big trucks will be able to get through
Yep.
there then?
That's very standard for
Okay.
all new subdivisions throughout the region.
Okay. Any more questions, comments from the council? I see none. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Ross.
very much.
Appreciate it. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Seeing none, Councilman Manganelli moves to close this public hearing. Seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? This public hearing is closed. Public hearing number 2603017.
In accordance with 405035 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, March 23, 2026, at 7:00 p.m. on the following proposition: a request to amend the zoning code to establish minimum floor area standards, operational criteria, and full kitchen requirements for new banquet centers. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Thank you, Mr. Mulcahy, for representing tonight and give us
Yes.
some information on this.
Yeah, good evening. So I know Ms. Irvin couldn't attend tonight, so I'm here to speak on behalf of staff for this change to the code. I know the council has, over the years, tried to button the code up in regards to event centers, taverns, restaurants, banquet centers. And I believe this kind of continues that process. I know recently the council and planning and zoning defined restaurant and banquet center, but I think staff wanted to take a deeper look into it to better define banquet centers themselves, to require full kitchens, that food must be prepared on site, also have a minimum square footage for events, in regards to safety of these events, to make sure there's enough room in the building, enough room for parking, things like that. So this went to P&Z March 2nd. P&Z approved it, sent it to the City Council for your review. So,
thank you. Councilman Egan.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mulcahy. And I know you're not a building commissioner, but a quick question on this.
Sure.
Does this new proposal have any guidelines for the number of restrooms in these per square foot, or is that a overall city or building code requirement?
I don't believe that's in the particular ordinance, but it
Councilmember Egan, it does not specify the specific number of restrooms that are required, but it does specify that banquet centers shall comply with all applicable provisions within the applicable building codes. So to the extent that the building code would speak to the number of restrooms that are required, that's built into the ordinance.
Very good, thank you. That's all I have.
Councilman Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Patrick, welcome. Did you go through all the list of your other, because I see there's several other municipalities.
Mm-hmm.
Did you kind of go through them all and see and come up with one that we got that's in here?
Yeah, so the building department, they did the research to craft this ordinance, and I know Ms. Irvin looked at several municipalities, like you said. I think there's 8 to 10 of them. I don't have them off the top of my head, but I know she looked at several, not only in the St. Louis area, but around the state.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Let's see, before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Hearing none, Councilman Egan moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The public hearing is closed. The next item on the agenda is old business. The first item is bills for second reading. Bill number 10191, Councilwoman Pagano moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Manganelli. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a special use permit to April Murray, Venue 347 LLC, to operate a banquet center at 1833 Dunn Road in the B3 Extensive Business District.
Councilwoman Pagano moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilwoman Parson. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a special use permit to April Murray, Venue 347 LLC, to operate a banquet center at 1833 Dunn Road in the B3 Extensive Business District.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill?
Good evening.
Good evening. Please state your name and city for the record.
My name is Todd Mandel. I'm the attorney. You guys say your names?
Nicole Van Hook. April Murray. And Tanisa Barnes.
These people are the owners of the proposed venue and the operations manager. My name is Todd Mandel. I'm an attorney in St. Louis, practicing law for over 35 years. Good evening, and thank you for your consideration. We are proposing a private banquet facility designed for controlled, pre-scheduled events such as weddings, family gatherings, and small corporate functions. This is not an event center, not a nightclub, and not open to the general public. Our goal is to create a well-managed, clean, professional space that adds value to the area, not disruption. We are committed to being a good neighbor and working closely with the city to ensure this operates exactly as intended. To address common concerns, there's no public or ticketed events will be permitted, no open admission or walk-in traffic, no nightclub or bar-style operations, no outdoor music or entertainment. All events will be private and scheduled in advance, and all events will conclude by 12 p.m. They have staff and security will be in place to ensure guests leave promptly and respectfully. We have intentionally aligned occupancy with available parking to prevent overflow into surrounding neighborhoods. We've taken a proactive approach to address the concerns that typically come with these types of uses. This will operate strictly as a private banquet facility, controlled, predictable, and limited in scope. That's all we have.
Thank you, Mr. Mandel.
Yes.
And thank you, everyone. Yes. Okay.
Is there any questions?
I don't think we have any questions, do we? Okay, I appreciate your comments.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes. Hearing no further comments, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
No.
Manganelli. Egan. Caputa. Shildrock. O'Donnell.
No.
Bill number 10191 has failed. Bill number 10192. Councilman Egan moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilwoman Parson. Any discussion? Councilman Egan.
Thank you very much. This is in my ward, and as we talked last week or last meeting, I'm probably not a big fan of Mr. Elohim's business. I'm probably not going to ever visit him and buy his dandelion dust or whatever he's selling, or get his massages or what have you. But I think it is a legal business. I have no reason to say he's acting illegally. I take umbrage with his title of doctor, and I recommend, or I tell people to watch what the BBB says, but I think it's basically an illegal business. And the only reason we're really here tonight is because of the broadcast studio aspect of the proposal. And Mr. Dale and Mr. Elohim have both pointed out that this is not a recording studio. They've agreed that it's not going to be rented out to other entities. When we pass these ordinances, we do set precedent. And so I want to ensure that when Mr. Elohim's business is even bigger and better, and he moves on to a bigger and better location, that the precedent we set tonight is consistent with what we want for the neighborhood. And that is a residential neighborhood. The condominiums back up to his parking lot. And so I'm going to support this bill, but I want to offer two amendments. The first amendment, I wanted to codify that he cannot use the broadcast or media studio. He cannot rent that out. And number two, that all activities on the property with clients, the clients are all vacated by 10 p.m. That would include lectures. I know that he said last time, sometimes people want to come in for treatments or sales later in the evening, and I can understand that, but I think that 10 p.m. is a fair time for the neighbors that the property be vacated of clients. Obviously, his staff or himself, I know he says he works to the wee hours of the morning. There's nothing that prohibit him from being there all night. But I would like to have the business vacated of clients by 10 p.m. So those are the two amendments I'm going to make, and I hope I get support from the council.
Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. Looking at I would actually like to suspend the rules to call Mr. Elohim up, because I have a question for him.
Councilman Manganelli moves to suspend the rules, seconded by Councilman Egan. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the rules are suspended. Welcome.
Hey. Thank you, Mr. Elohim. I just really have one question here.
Okay.
In several parts of it. This is all to change this to a B5 planned commercial district.
Uh-huh.
And in doing that, you agree to follow all state, federal, and local laws.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You had spoken at the public hearing about the lymphatic drainage.
Uh-huh.
Okay, is that what will be performed by yourself?
No, remember we talked this by a machine. It's called the Pro Balancer lymphatic machine. It's a machine that does it, and we have RN nurses to just keep up with the equipment, maintenance, make sure everything is running right, and things like that. I am not performing lymphatic drainages myself, and we corrected that the last meeting here.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we actually did correct that, but
Yes.
Okay, that's my concern. Is like you said, you you stated that nobody holds any licenses in your facility.
No.
One being.
And nobody will be doing the lymphatic drainage themselves. It's a machine you buy, it's FDA approved. We all got certifications on running the machine. You literally put yourself in a compression suit, you lay down on the bed, you cut it on for the minutes, and it do all the work itself. Only thing we do is watch, monitor the machine.
Okay. And just, just so you know too, operating some machines like this do require a license. I'm not exactly.
So this particular machine that we have, it doesn't require a license. It does require certification over the machine, which everybody in my facility do have the certifications. In fact, at the clinic we have now, the actual certifications of me and my staff, it got pictures of them over the wall, over the machine. But this particular machine do not require a license for it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. I would like to ask you, these amendments that Councilman Egan is proposing, one being cannot rent the broadcast studio. You've already said you weren't going to.
It's not, I don't even know why it's still on the docket like that. It is not a recording studio. We would never rent it out. No music will be made there. It's literally my studio, $100,000 worth of equipment. I would never rent that out to anybody.
Okay. And sometimes we just want to codify it in the bill. So.
Yeah, nobody will be there making music.
And
We're not
then
renting it
10
out to
p.m.
nobody.
close time?
Mr. Egan, can we push it to 10:30?
I'm real happy with 10 o'clock, I'm sorry. I just think if I went and doing it my research, the church didn't do anything past 10 o'clock with this. Traverse doesn't do anything past 10 o'clock. I think 10 o'clock is fair to have the clients off. That's my view.
Well, one more question then, Mr. Egan. Because during our lecture time, can we push it to 10:30? Remember, we're not doing any drinking, no smoking, no drugs, none of this. It's a holistic facility, no loud music, none of the stuff like that. But we do want to get time for me to get through my lecture and leave. So just on the lecture times, can we push it to 10:30?
I'll amend my amendment to 10:30, but everyone's off the property at 10:30.
Done.
Without exception.
Done. Thank you, Mr. Egan.
Just to clarify, is that just for the lecture dates? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All claims, attendees.
Yes.
Must be out by 10:30.
Okay.
That's done.
Okay, so when we get to we're going to do that amendment. I heard Mr. Caputa. We'll do that when we get to it. Well, this is the second reading, isn't it? So we need to do it. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you,
I don't
Mr.
think we have
President.
anything else for you? We just got to take care of our business here.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Egan.
So, Councilman Egan, can we do both of these amendments in one, or do we need to do them separately?
I'd recommend separately, just
Okay.
so that they can be considered individually.
So I'm going to do my best to read this amendment, and then just let me know if it's right, Councilman Egan. So we're going to make an amendment. Councilman Egan moves to amend the bill so that the broadcast studio space cannot be rented. Seconded by Councilwoman Pagano. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the amendment passes. Another amendment is to require by 10:30, all participants or inhabitants should be vacated from the property. Client services. Okay. Is there a second? Seconded by?
Just one clarification. The ordinance, as I have it right now, and maybe I'm looking at an old one, but it says that the approved hours of operation will be 9 a.m. through 5 p.m., and then weekends 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So are we amending that, or is this something different?
I
believe they came up in the public hearing that they want to use the church area as a lecture hall, and his lectures tend to go a little long.
So we're talking about that second provision, weekends lectures, and that will be amended from 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m.
Now, I think there's office hours till 5 p.m.
That's Monday through Friday.
Okay, and then the 8 PM, was that retail space?
That was for the lecture hall.
For the lecture hall, okay, so what, do you want to extend that, yeah?
So then all you're extending, just to make sure the record's clear, is on the weekends, the lectures from 12 PM to 10 PM. 10:30 PM.
Correct. And then I also believe that, that it also states in there that the lectures are only 1 or 2 times per month?
2 per month.
2 per month, okay, so we'll keep that in mind as well, but, okay, so we have a motion to amend the weekend hours to 10:30 for the purpose of lectures. Seconded by Pagano, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the amendment passes. All right. Councilman Egan moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Shildroth. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to ordinance number 8888 to operate a holistic clinic with therapy rooms, training rooms, and podcast studio at 660 Charbonnier in a B5 planned commercial district as amended.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli.
Yes.
Egan. Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell.
Bill number 10192 passes and becomes ordinance number 9184. Bill number 10193, Councilman Manganelli moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Egan. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to special use permit number 8602 to add rental trucks at 730 North Highway 67 in a B3 extensive business district.
Councilman Manganelli moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to special use permit number 8602 to add rental trucks at 730 North Highway 67 in a B3 extensive business district.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Good evening. Please state your name for the record and city.
Keith Wilhelm. I represent Avis Budget Car and Truck Rental. And asking for your permission to amend Ordinance 8602 to add, so we can add trucks to our current car rental business. The zoning board has looked at this and approved it with the provision that we park everything in the back of the building, up to 6 units. And then we also stripe that parking lot to where those need to go. Mark that area back there so when a customer goes back there, they see it. Then also put a sign in the front of the building in the window that tells customers, truck customers must return their trucks in the rear of the building. So.
Okay, I appreciate you being here. I'd like to move to suspend the rules so I can ask a question to clarify. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the rules are suspended. I just want to clarify, is this, you're offering amendment that's different than what we spoke about at the public hearing, or is this all the same?
It's all the same. Maybe
okay.
I said that wrong.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
Right. I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So that's what we're approving is the trucks. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Trucks.
I appreciate you being here tonight. While we have him here, are there any other questions or clarifications? Okay. I think we understand.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience? Okay. Hearing no further comments, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Egan. Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell.
Bill number 10193 passes and becomes ordinance number 9185. Bill number 10194.
Ordinance authorizing the transfer of special use permit number 8778 from L&M Motors Incorporated to NR Auto Store 110 LLC, doing business as Gary's Automotive, for the operation of an automotive service garage located at 1745 North Highway 67.
I think I forgot to call for a second reading. Councilman Siam moves for a second reading. Seconded by Councilman Shildroth. Is there discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Do we need to read that again, probably? The second time. We forgot to actually second it.
You might as well.
Yes, let's go. Thank you.
Ordinance authorizing the transfer of special use permit number 8778 from L&M Motors Incorporated to NR Auto Store 110 LLC, doing business as Gary's Automotive, for the operation of an automotive service garage located at 1745 North Highway 67.
Councilman Siam moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Shildroth. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing the transfer of special use permit number 8778 from L&M Motors Incorporated to NR Auto Store 110 LLC, doing business as Gary's Automotive, for the operation of an automotive service garage located at 1745 North Highway 67.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Egan. Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell.
Bill number 10194 passes and becomes ordinance number 9186. Let's see. Bill number 10195. Councilwoman Parson moves for a second reading. Seconded by Councilman Manganelli. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement to apply for funding through MSD's Municipal Stormwater Grant Program to support stormwater infrastructure projects.
Councilman Egan moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement to apply for funding through MSD's Municipal Stormwater Grant Program to support stormwater infrastructure projects.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Egan. Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell.
Bill number 10195 passes and becomes ordinance number 9187. Bill number 10196. Councilman Simon moves for a second reading. Seconded by Councilwoman Parson. Any discussion? All in discussion? Okay. Councilman Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill with the bank coming, this is the second restaurant we have lost in the city due to a bank. And this one, you got 10 feet, 20 feet, whatever it is, very close to another bank. We can't continue on losing restaurants and having a financial structure come into this town. This would be the second one, like I said before, and as of right now, I will not be supporting this bill. Thank you.
Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. I guess basically, I'd just like to go along with Councilman Caputa's thoughts on this. I too also see the loss of a restaurant building, as too big of a loss for what, if we could prevent it. you know, I think it would be a good thing. Thank you.
Okay, looks like discussion is concluded. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to ordinance number 8297 for Central Trust Bank doing business as Central Bank of St. Louis located at 2180 North Highway 67 to allow for a financial institution bank with drive-through facilities in a B5 planned commercial district.
Councilman O'Donnell moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Shildroth. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to ordinance number 8297 for Central Trust Bank doing business as Central Bank of St. Louis located at 2180 North Highway 67 to allow for a financial institution bank with drive-through facilities in a B5 planned commercial district.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Egan. Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell.
Bill number 10196 passes and becomes ordinance number 9188. Bill number 10197, Councilwoman Parson moves for a second reading. Seconded by Councilman Shildroth. Any discussion? Councilman Shildroth.
Thank you, Mr. President. The cell tower is located in Bangor Park, which is in my ward. And if you didn't know, if I didn't tell you it was a cell tower, you wouldn't know. I think the petitioner's done really good keeping the property maintained, painted, and when the flags, Missouri flag or the U.S. flag is in disarray, after, you know, we say something, Public Works says something, they fix it and replace it right away. So I just want to commend them for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion appears to be concluded. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a second amendment to site lease agreement between New Singular Wireless PCS LLC and the City of Florissant, Missouri for a cell tower lease.
Councilman Shildroth moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a second amendment to site lease agreement between New Singular Wireless PCS LLC and the City of Florissant, Missouri for a cell tower lease.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Egan. Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell.
Bill number 10197 passes and becomes ordinance number 9189. Bill number 10198. Councilwoman Pagano moves for a second reading. Seconded by Councilman Manganelli. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing the reimbursement from the Metropolitan Sewer District for the purchase of the Forerunner software for management of floodplain administration.
Councilman Egan moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilwoman Pagano. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing the reimbursement from the Metropolitan Sewer District for the purchase of the Forerunner software for management of floodplain administration.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Egan. Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell.
Bill number 10198 passes and becomes ordinance number 9190. The next item on the agenda is new business. The first item under new business is board appointments. Councilman Childrath.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to reappoint Seamus Daly, 385 South Jefferson Street, and Brett Berchtold, 101 Clark Street, to the Board of Adjustment.
Seconded by Councilman Egan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
The appointment is made. Okay. Mayor Lowry.
Thank you. I wish to appoint Bill Schnarr from Ward 5 to the Veterans Commission.
Councilman Schildhoff moves to approve the mayor's appointment. Seconded by Councilman Manganelli. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The appointment is made. Okay. Councilman O'Donnell moves to approve a permit to keep 4 chickens for Beth Stoll, located at 785 Brown Street. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilman Childrath. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion carried and the permit is approved. Okay. Councilman O'Donnell moves to accept the application to transfer special use permit number 9130 from Yvette Smith, doing business as Relax, Heal, and Restore, to St. Jean Aesthetics, located at 493 Rue St. Francis, Suite 5. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilman Childrath. Discussion. Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I spoke with Ms. Zaya McMath, who is the applicant of this afternoon, and I don't see any purpose in calling her forward. She's essentially transferring the special use under the same type of business. She is a licensed esthetician, and based on what I talked to her about, the space will be used in compliance with with her license. So unless somebody else in the council wanted to speak with her, I would move to accept the transfer.
Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried and the application is accepted. The next item on the agenda is bills for first reading. Bill number 10199.
Ordinance amending the zoning code of the City of Florissant by creating a new section 405253, establishing regulations for banquet centers, including facility and operational requirements.
Bill number 10200.
Ordinance to authorize a rezoning of a parcel of land from NU non-urban district to a planned development residential PDR, commonly known as 2475-2435 Charbonneir Road, Florissant, Missouri 63031, creating a minor subdivision.
Bill number 10201.
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit for Moset's to allow for a restaurant at 1740 Thunderbird in the B3 Extensive Business District.
One moment, please. Okay. Bill number 10202.
Ordinance to authorize a special use to Davion Fam Saigon Baguette to allow for a quick service restaurant with catering services located at 1775 North Highway 67 in the B3 Extensive Business District.
Okay. Councilwoman Pagano.
Yes, I move to amend this to change his business days to 7 days a week, that he can be open on Sunday.
Okay. Councilwoman Pagano moves to amend the bill to allow for Sunday operations. Seconded by Councilman Egan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The bill is amended. Okay. Bill number 10203.
Ordinance authorizing a transfer of special use permit number 9130 from Yvette Smith doing business as Relax, Heal, and Restore to St. Jean Aesthetics LLC to operate a massage business located at 493 Rue St. Francois, Suite 5.
Bill number 10204. Oh, I apologize. Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to clarify on that. We have massage business, but we're transferring the special use permit, which is as a esthetician. So that actually is not what she intends at this location. Specifically, she was going to specialize in hair removal. So I don't know if we need to, Ms. Graves, if we need to adjust that terminology for the reading.
Since this is first reading, let's look at it. We'll look at it before the next one.
Very good.
And clarify.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Ms. Graves.
Councilman O'Donnell. Bill number 10204.
Ordinance amending Chapter 105 Administration generally to add a new Article 2 Purchasing Regulations to codify regulations governing purchasing procedures.
Bill number 10205.
Ordinance of the City of Florissant, Missouri imposing a temporary moratorium for 1 year on the consideration and issuance of business license applications for new home health care offices, salons and barbershops, and spas and massage businesses in the Florissant Historic Business District.
Councilman Egan moves for a second reading. Seconded by Councilman Manganelli. Is there any discussion? Okay. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance of the City of Florissant, Missouri imposing a temporary moratorium for 1 year on the consideration and issuance of business license applications for new home healthcare offices, salons and barbershops and spas, and massage businesses in the Florissant Historic Business District.
Councilman Egan moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Caputa. Roll call vote, please.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Egan. Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell. Ordinance of the City of Florissant, Missouri imposing a temporary moratorium for 1 year on the consideration and issuance of business license applications for new home healthcare offices, salons and barbershops and spas and massage businesses in the Florissant Historic Business District.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Egan. Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell.
Bill number 10205 passes and becomes ordinance number 9191. The next item on the agenda is council announcements. Councilman Egan.
A moment and thank the city, the administration, the police department, the media department, the street department, and the parks department, and all the city officials that allowed us to have a St. Patrick's Day parade and festival 2 Sundays ago. It was a good event. The committee worked very, very hard. But with all festivals, it doesn't happen without the cooperation of the city. And I want to personally thank the mayor and his office. And we'll be back next year. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. No further council announcements. Mayor Lowry.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just got a few announcements. We have our Senior Resource Fair coming up on April the 9th from 9 to 11 at the JFK Community Center. On April 11th from 9 to 11 at Sunset Park, we're going to have our trash bash. Volunteers are going to meet on the lower parking lot where supplies will be issued. Our electronics recycling event is set for Saturday, April 11th from 9 to 1 at St. Ferdinand Park. And our document shredding event will be on Saturday, April 25th, from 9 to noon at St. Ferdinand Park. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. The next item, the next regular meeting for the City Council will be on Monday, April 13th, 2026. Councilwoman Pagano moves to adjourn the regular meeting, seconded by Councilman Siam. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned.
You did all right.